you say you gonna donate, donate. Stop counting my coins. Well, we can count coins a little bit. Let's talk about all the recent stuff that's been going on, the donations, who's donating, how much should they donate. I felt like it was time for a discussion to talk about counting people's coins. What's in your wallet, girl? We need to find out, we need to discuss it because people have been going off on Twitter and they've been making a whole bunch of hoopla about how much certain people and certain celebrities should donate. So let's talk about it. If you say you're gonna donate, donate. So recently, Kevin Hart has challenged a couple of his celebrity friends or people he think his friends and said, girl, y'all need to donate $25,000. So some of y'all need to be donating too. So he called out, I think, he called out The Rock, he called out Beyonce, and some other celebrities. I don't know if he called out The Rock specifically, but I do know he called out Beyonce. And he said, y'all need to donate some money. So the way Kevin Hart did that, it was a nightmare. It looked bad upon him. There's nothing wrong with donating money, but you don't call other people out like that. You don't do it in that way, especially when you're talking about Beyonce. We know Beyonce has been one of those people that she does not take pictures of anything she's doing to make people better. Whenever Beyonce is doing something for the community, we find out like months later, like there's nothing that she actually just tell the girls that I'm doing this. Just like Rihanna. Rihanna doesn't do this stuff. Like people out here doing work for the community and they feel like they don't need to tell everybody they're doing. Because what's understood needs no understanding. I don't have to explain to you that I'm doing something as long as I'm doing it because I'm doing it for me. I'm not doing it to make myself look good or make you feel better. I'm doing it for the people that I care about. I think him calling out Beyonce was completely just tragic as far as when it comes to political correctness. Like you don't call out celebrities. What Kevin Hart should have done is Kevin Hart should have said, hey, I'm calling out all the people, all my celebrity friends, like let's do something for the community. It's the way you say it. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And the way he came across on the Instagram video seemed like he wanted some attention. Now, I told y'all several times I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Hart. I just don't find him funny, and sometimes something about his spirit doesn't sit all the way right with me sometimes. The way it came out of his mouth, it was just too much. Like if you're gonna call people out to do something, you need to call their phone and say, hey, I'm trying to put something together. I'm trying to put this action coalition together. And I want to, put some money together so we can all do something. Or let's put it together, a benefit concert. You do stuff like that in silence. You don't have to tell everybody what you are doing. And that's what Kevin Hart did. Now, The Rock responded, and The Rock said, hey, I've been called out. I'm gonna donate this money. But it does not matter if it's $25,000 or $50,000 or if it's $5 or $1. Whatever you can donate, donate. People are going through stuff every day, 24/7. That does not take away from Hurricane Harvey at all. That situation is serious. People have been displaced. Their lives have been changed forever. But you can't call out people to pay and do this when you don't know what's going on with them. You don't know what they're working towards. Like I might not have $100,000, but I can put together something to benefit more than $100,000. Sometimes I can put together an initiative that moves more than a couple of $100,000. Like sometimes you got to look at the long-term effects. And donating to the Red Cross and the Salvation Army, those are big corporations that, sometimes when they get this money, they have to spend some of this money to this and that and that. We have people on the ground that are out here doing stuff and people who are legit. One of my close friends, best friends that went to high school with, his name is Adrian. He has been doing a lot of work this past week. He's in an area that's not flooded. He's been taking that money, he's been buying supplies and taking it to shelters and places across Houston that are affected. I'm going to put the information to his PayPal and his Cash App for all of the J's to donate whatever you have. I feel like I want to support somebody that is small. I don't want to do those big people because those people get money all the time. I want to help those people out that might see somebody differently. I want this black person to see that this black person is going through something and recognizes with their story more. So the Jays, I'm asking y'all to donate. I'm going to donate as well. Check out, this man is legit. I know him. My friends know him. He's a good person. He's trying to do a lot for the community, and he's just one of those folks that's just like, I want to be more about action. He's one of those individuals like Beyonce, more about action and doing stuff than just talking about it. So I appreciate him. Check out that link in the description box. Also, the conversation has been steered a little bit, and it's been on Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen has been called out. Joel Osteen has been called out. People were all over his church, Lakewood Church, I think that's what it's called, and they were all trying to figure out why he has not opened his doors to the people that were, affected by it. And it took him a couple of days. Now, the story has changed a couple of times. At first, they were saying that the areas around his church were flooded, that his church was flooded and was affected. And then there was another statement that was released, and the statement read, you know, I'm quoting a little bit, and basically they just said that, hey, the city didn't ask us to open up our church, so we're just waiting on the city. Then the statement changed to, well, our doors have always been open. We've been taking in people. We wasn't sure what to do. So I'm not understanding what the Lakewood Church, what Joel Osteen was trying to do. I really don't want to feel like that Joel Osteen is a little bit of a crook, but I will say this. When it comes to situations like this, people are going to be upset at the people who have more than them. And that's just what it is. If you watch The Walking Dead, you understand how it is. Like, look, we all need to come together. We need to all make this work. Now, Joel Osteen should have got a handle on this. He should have had this stuff right. I really don't want to believe that Joel Osteen, you know, just was going to say, hey, I'm not letting anybody in, you know, but I do feel like the pressure from social media pressured him to open those doors. I don't care what nobody said. Me and my friends had a conversation about it, and you know, I looked at both sides, and I'm still on the side of Joel Osteen should have did a little bit more. Like, he might be doing something. Now, it goes back into the counting coins things, because Joel Osteen might have been doing other things. He might be donating money, but these people have a right to call out this man. This is a big, big church. Like, Christians are supposed to be these people who take care of everybody and help folks and stuff. And I think there's a lot of mega churches, like, we're trying to understand, what do you need to live in a $15 million house for? What do you need a $5 million house? Tupac was in a video like several years ago, and he said, you know, I don't understand the purposes of these churches and stuff. Y'all spend $5 million for us to worship, but these people need a place to stay and a place to live. So we rather spend more money on worshiping this great deity instead of having someone live in this space. It makes a lot of sense to me, and there's no reason why we should not question it, why we should not be concerned about it. Churches have been taking in a lot of money, and they do not pay taxes, so people are feeling a certain type of way, and they have every reason to feel like that. So the church has been open, and judging by Joel Osteen's body language when he gave the interview and why he didn't open the church up at first or whatever happened, he looked very irritated. His body language just like, maybe I'm just over speculating, but just looking at his body images, so many people were saying the same thing. And I'm just like, I'm kind of inclined to believe that Joel Osteen probably didn't want to do any of that. He probably didn't want to mess up his church. He probably want to, you know, be involved in that. Now, one of my friends said, hey, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. He'll be responsible for these folks. And if something happens to him, he can be sued. This and that can happen. And my friend was saying, you know, hey, he would have to have security. And I'm just like, okay, this man is worth a couple of $1 million, hiring security and doing stuff like that. I don't think that would be the problem, especially when you have mosques and stuff that were open and helping the community out. And they said, hey, we're just going to do it. You got places like Sealy that open their doors up for veterans and army personnel to lay up. Some people just didn't think about that. Like, it's just like, hey, let's go and let's do what we need to do. We're worried about the repercussions later on. If you truly mean good. And my thing is, if you're doing stuff in the name of the Lord and you're doing stuff good, then he's going to make a way for everything to work out. So maybe you need to put your faith in there and make it work. Don't be worried about that. That goes into religion and understanding that and understanding how it works. But counting pockets, Kevin Hart was in the wrong. He should have never came out. He should have just did what he did. He said, hey, you know, I'm sitting here donating $50,000 to such and such. You know, whatever y'all can donate, y'all can put it out. Ate him alive with that. With his PR statement, The Rock ate him alive with that statement. The way he just came out and he just commanded, like, hey, no matter what you have. See, The Rock came from a place of relatability. And Kevin Hart came off as, I'm telling y'all what to do because y'all act like y'all can't make nothing happen, so I'm gonna have to tell y'all what y'all need to do with y'all money. He may not have meant it that way, but the way it was perceived and the way people took it on social media was like, girl, like, you don't need to do that. And Beyonce has been known, she donated $7 million back in 2014 to homelessness in Houston. Somebody was sharing and saying that she had donated $7 million. This year, she has not, to our knowledge, donated anything. She probably has, there's not been anything released saying how much Beyonce has done. But she has been known to do stuff like that. She's been putting together all types of initiatives and stuff for black people and everything, like under stuff. Her and her husband, like, even when the Trayvon Martin situation, she didn't do no whole what's name with him. She just said, hey, I'm inviting you, I want to be with you. That goes back to the counting coins situation. And I think people do that. Like, all of us are going to do what we can, and that may be financially, that might be mentally, there might be a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it may be, sometimes it's ways to help out someone other than just giving somebody money. But, you know, saying that you're gonna pray for somebody ain't always enough. Like, sometimes, you know, you got to get out and do the work, because what? Faith without work is dead. So you can't be out here saying this stuff just to be saying it, and then you're not meaning anything because you're not putting any weight behind it. But shout out to everybody who's donating. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all all my people that are in Houston. My prayers are with you. I hope that we get through this. I know we're going to get through this. We're going to get through all of this. Even though we have a trash commander-in-chief that is taking this to a political type of situation where he's only concerned about the crowds and how good he's doing. But, you know, we don't know how good he's doing. And the thing that he's going to be judged on is how fast is Texas going to recover from this situation. And it's going to be a minute. We might not even know for a couple of years how much money has been spent on the Texas recovery after Hurricane Harvey. So my prayers with y'all. I love y'all so much. Tell me what y'all think. If you're interested in donating, make sure you check that link below. I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all later on tonight. Bye.